Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ilya Khadija binti Rosli and I am from CS124A. In this video, I will be answering the question for week 9 activity, which is related to the interaction of income and expenses. So the question is, economists study consumer spending to project trends and see how consumers affect the national and global economies. A consumer divides income between consumption and savings, even if the household income goes to zero. Consumption does not. Meanwhile, savings depend on the interaction of income and expenses. Briefly explain how savings could depend on the interaction of income and expenses. So my answer for this question is people in their 20s will start working after they graduate. Then they will get married or live together with their partner and eventually have children. During marriage, if possible, they might have saved some of their income for deposit on a house in the future. This will depend on time and place and also vary from a few months to a few years' income. Other than that, those who are in this group can be liquidity constrained when they start working. It means that their consumption is constrained by their inability to borrow enough to live at a level that is likely to be justified by their future earning power. The reluctance on the part of lenders is due to the fear of moral hazard and the lack of the ability to insure risk. Banks want to attract profitable customers like those who have tertiary education and professional status. This is because the banks want to reduce the moral hazard. There are also loans by government that may be available to the public. However, young people will be limited to loans secured by their cars and customer credit. Okay, the next are people who are in their 30s will buy a house, but for some lower income earners, they might not afford to buy a house since it is costly, and they have no chance but to rent, which is unlikely to be cheap, or to share accommodation. The requirement to compulsory pension at an earlier age often means that retirement provision begins before debts are repaid. It is shown that it might be reasonable to start retirement savings later if they have bought a house. Meanwhile, for the group of 40s and 50s, they tend to save their income towards a comfortable a comfortable retirement provision. A retirement of say one half of final salary may require about 1/4 of earnings over the preceding 2 decades. And lastly, the 60s and above is divided into two categories. The first one is people over 60s who are healthy, and the second one is those who are unhealthy. For healthy over 60s, they have the choices to work, retire, or even both. However, staying in the formal workspace is the obstacle they normally faced because of attempts to make job opportunities for younger people. Meanwhile, for unhealthy over 60s, they will not be able to work and always need help in their daily activities. This includes financial management. So as a conclusion, insufficient savings can lead to financial hardship in retirement, and oversaving can create reduction in consumption. These may not be immediately obvious, but the difficulties faced by young families trying to meet mortgage payments are well known. So that is all for my video this week. Thank you.